Hello. Good morning. Um, David here, and just here a bit this morning to share and talk about recovery and addiction, alcoholism, and yeah, nice to see you guys. So I'm just going to tell a story. Uh, Last night I went to a meeting, 12-step meeting, and it was great. Wow. I took two fellas with me that were both really, coming back, eh? Two fellas that were coming back, and that, fellas that have been around the 12-step world for quite a long time, and both of them, um, but they had gone back out and been struggling. Both of them been struggling with trying to, get even a month to, sober and really on the path of, you know, how do I get back in? How do I? So anyway, we went to this meeting last night, and it was a birthday meeting, and it was beautiful, beautiful. I don't know if you ever been to a 12-step meeting, but right now the the in-person meetings are restricted quite a bit on size. So if a meeting room at one time could have had 60 or 80 people in it, now we can only maybe have 25, because of this COVID thing. And so it was a birthday meeting last night, and two people with 40 years, 40 years each in recovery. That's so cool. And another guy with like 36, another guy with 8. And then the two most important birthdays were two young ladies with a year. And I love when I'm there for somebody's first year in recovery, for their we acknowledge time. You know, we do. We acknowledge time in recovery because time is part of the equation. It really is. And it doesn't measure quality, and that's okay. It doesn't measure whether they've done the steps or not, and that's okay. But it allows them to stand, at the front of the room and share their gratitude and their experience. And it was beautiful last night. These two young ladies were, so sincere and heartful, and there was tears and love, and it was really beautiful. Uh, so I was so grateful to be there. And my two men that were with me last night that are new in recovery were also grateful to be there, because it works. You know, these two 1 year ladies, had really, it didn't come easy for them. And they shared how they had taken many attempts to get that first year in. And also the 240-year people, shared honestly about their experience and their life, and one lady's son was there with her, and he was in recovery, and I mean, it's beautiful. I look at my own life and I see that, I've been in recovery since 1980, and I would have been a statistic. Honestly, there's no question I would have just been, there's no way without recovery I would have survived. Just no way. And to have a beautiful family and the gifts that come up from that are amazing. But back to last night, there was only 25 or 27 people in the room. It's not a big meeting, because of COVID restrictions. But there must have been, as I looked around the room, there was a fellow there with 65 years. It wasn't his birthday, but he was there, and a number of other people with 30 plus and 40 plus years, and there was probably, you know, 400 or 500 years of recovery in this small group of people. What a beautiful, you could feel the energy. And one of the young fellows that I had with me last night really got touched. He just, he had tears actually. He really got touched. He felt the love in the room, and that's what's there. That is what's there. And that is the magic ingredient: love, God, that heals, that lifts us up. And you can see it. Where else can you go where, people are so open-hearted and so full of gratitude and love as a result of the change in their life. if if you're an addict or an alcoholic, you know what it's like to live in hell. They say that some people want to find God so they can go to heaven after they die, and for the addict and the alcoholic, we want to find or build create a relationship with God so we can get out of hell now. So anyway, beautiful. I just wanted to talk about that recovery is possible. It really is. And if you're a family of an addict or an alcoholic, know that it is possible. Um, you know, there's a piece of it, when you're at a birthday meeting, and when it comes right down to it, you know, if you say to somebody, well, what did you do? How did you stay sober all these years? And when it comes right down to it, uh, they always say the same thing. Well, I did a lot of things, but I really think that it was, my relationship with God or my higher power that has kept me sober. And so it's this mysterious thing that this thing that we can't really quantify, or we can't really logic doesn't you can't measure it. We can have a list of things. You do all these things, and you should get it, But there's this part that's got to be chalked up to grace. Has to be chalked up to grace, because it isn't. You know, I remember, and I'm just gonna. I share this often. I guess uh, in my family, we really believe that my mother's prayers, intervened, if you will, and to help us get sobriety. And so many of us, and there's five of us, and we've all had some recovery and some sobriety. And for me, I've been grateful to have all these years. So, and that's why I do this, because I think that we can carry the message, the message of hope. If you watch this, and you're thinking, how do I get out of this mess? How do I get out of this confusion? There is a way out. If you're in the grips of an addiction, whether it's food or gambling or sex or porn or drugs or alcohol, emotional upsets, drama. We can be kind of addicted to drama, right? I know, but there is a way out. There is a way out. So, um, okay, that's my little talk about the birthday meeting last night. I was really struck. I got such a heart opening from the sincerity and the love in that room last night. It was beautiful. And let's read from our 24-hour day book. It's the 27th of March. My gosh, March 27th, 2021. So this book, by the way, that I read from every day was published in 54. So sometimes the language is a little dated, but the message is clear. You know, Thought for the day. You get the power to overcome drinking or drugging or whatever the addiction is through the fellowship of other people in recovery who have found the way. That's part of it. We do. We get the recovery. We get the power, because we share that power. God talks through people, and through the love from people. We get power by honestly sharing our past experience by our personal witness. Let me read that again. You get power by honestly sharing your past experience by a personal witness. You get power by coming to believe in a higher power, the divine principle in the universe that can help you. So we come to believe in a divine principle, in a higher power, in love. We get power by working with other alcoholics. Yes. So the expression of our love is working with other alcoholics. It is love. Love is an action word, right? We get power by working with other alcoholics. In these four ways, thousands of alcoholics or addicts have found all the power they need to overcome drinking or using. Am I ready and willing to accept this power and work for it? Yes. That's the question. Meditation for the day. So this thing has like a thought for the day, meditation for the day, and a prayer for the day. It says meditation for the day. The power of God's Spirit is the greatest power in the universe. And we can replace the word God with the power of love's spirit. The power of love's spirit is the greatest power in the universe. Whatever your higher power is. Man's conquest of each other, the great kings and conquerors, the conquest of wealth, the leaders of the money society, all amount to very little in the end. But he who conquers himself is greater than he who conquers a city. Material things have no permanence, but God's Spirit is eternal. Everything really worthwhile in the world is a result of the power of God's Spirit. Love, baby. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may open myself to the power of God's Spirit. Pray that I may open myself to the power of God's Spirit. I pray that my relationships, my fellow men, may improve by this Spirit. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Beautiful, eh? So it's possible to have an amazing, happy, joyous, and free life. Why have anything less? The description in the big book, happy, joyous, and free. Skyrocketed into the fourth dimension. Okay, you guys, we're going to just going to meditate for a couple of minutes. I call it meditate, but call it sitting, whatever. The reason that I do this every morning with you guys is really simple. It's like, let's take 3 minutes together, just like 3, maybe 4 minutes, and drop into that space. And if we can practice that every day together, this little meditation together every day, you kind of get in the practice of it. And so I walk you into it a little bit. Anybody can sit still for 3 or 4 minutes, right? Can you? Yeah. So let's sit together for a few minutes, and we'll just drop into the space, into the nothingness. Okay. So close your eyes. Hopefully you're in a comfortable spot. Just somewhere safe and comfortable. If there's any sounds around or anything, any noises, just include them. Just include them. How do we come into this moment? How do we be here right now? Often the way to do that is to use our body, to become present in our body, to just experience your body for a minute. Just feel your shoulders. Bring your attention, your focus into your shoulders, into your breath. Be here in your breath. Just feel the air coming in through your nose, into your lungs. As we come into our breath, and as we be here in this moment, we begin to feel much more present, expressing or feeling ourselves. Bring your attention for a moment into your legs, to your knees, to your thighs, into your butt that you're sitting on this chair, on this bench, or wherever you're sitting. Just feel yourself sitting here. What does it feel like? So much of what happens, we're not conscious of it. So just bring our consciousness into our body. There you go. If thoughts come up, just let them go. Just let them go. Gently. Don't push them. Don't be against them. Just gently let them go. Also, if thoughts come, just come back to the breath. Let's see if we can just sit still another couple of minutes. I'm just going to go quiet. Just be in this quiet. So if there's sounds, just include them. Life is full of sounds. And if thoughts come, just recognize that it just has a mind of its own. We are not our thoughts. It's just a thought-making machine. So just watch it and recognize that we are observing our thoughts. Recognize that we are observing our thoughts. Not engaging, just observing. All right. If you're in your meditation, just stay in your meditation, if you like. Recognize that when we sit still, we begin to tap into the oneness, the nowness. We experience this relationship with God as we understand Him through meditation. Higher power, love, consciousness. Okay, love you guys. Thank you so much. Just want to remind you that Monday evenings, 7 o'clock, we have our sharing group on Zoom, and I'll be posting the link. Love to have you join us. Thanks. Bye.